Round two. This is a very important topic that just came out just 2 days ago on July 31st. So those that don't know what is going on, uh, as of right now, the Forex broker JAFX is targeted by the CFTC and being sued as we speak. And so I'm going to show you guys some websites and share my screen and show you guys exactly what's going on, quick down dirty on what exactly they're suing JFX for. So those that are using JFX, I'm currently still using them, but I'm already in the process of withdrawing all my funds right now. And so things are going a little bit shady with JFX. CFTC is looking at them as an unregistered foreign exchange dealer. So let's go ahead and look at this right now. So this is on financefeeds.com. You can clearly see on the very top title, it says, regulation takes a very long time to set up. Forex broker JAFX gets targeted by CFTC. And you can see they're they're not licensed. They're an unregulated broker. You should already know that by signing up with them anyways. I already knew they were unregulated from the get-go. What's all this? Accept cookies? Why that? Yeah, okay. So this is a very important topic because JAFX is operating within the United States. Those that don't know, if you send a bank wire, their bank is with Wells Fargo. I've done a couple bank wires with them. It goes straight to California, and I forgot what the city is, but it goes straight to California and to Wells Fargo Bank when I do a bank wire. And so even though they say they're an offshore company, right here, it says right here, it's pretty interesting. From the Utah District Court is actually looking into them. Isn't that crazy? So according to documents filed with the Utah District Court, the CFTC accuses JAFX Ltd, also known as JAFX EOOD, I don't know what that means, an offshore company claiming to operate from St. Vincent and the Grenadines in Bulgaria, violating the Commodity Exchange Act and commission regulations. So you can clearly see that this complaint started back in September 2016, and it was still continuing. JAFX has offered retail Forex services to customers in the United States. The entity has never been registered as a retail foreign exchange dealer, RFED, or any other capacity with the CFTC. So let's just keep diving into this. This is a pretty important situation, those that are still with JAFX. You can clearly see that JAFX appears to be acknowledged its unlawful conduct by stating JAFX is currently not regulated. Regulation takes a very long time to set, and we are in the process of applying for regulation. The CFTC notes that it has not received any application from JAFX. The U.S. regulator alleges that JAFX operates as an unregistered foreign exchange dealer and has failed to provide a disclosure statement. Accordingly, the CFTC is seeking an order of permanent injunction against JAFX, as well as restitution and civil monetary penalties whose size has yet to be determined. And I mean, that's as far as I know. So from reading this and my point of view on this, I mean, first of all, you should already know that they are unlicensed, unregistered, and they are an unregulated broker. So you can clearly see the three words I'm using: unregistered, unlicensed, and unregulated. That doesn't mean like they're the most shadiest broker out there. That doesn't mean that. I mean, the cost from going from being regulated, and the cost from being a regulated broker costs 10 times more than being an unregulated broker. I have looked into becoming a broker myself. It's not cheap. I'm just letting you guys know that right now. It's a lot cheaper to go unregulated if you were to start unregulated. That's why they go offshore, because it's cheaper to go offshore. So nothing like, I mean, I don't really see a a good action plan from the CFTC stating that they're going to shut them down and stating that they're going to like do this and that. I mean, all it says right here is that JFX has failed to provide a disclosure statement, and then that CFTC is trying to order a permanent injunction against them, and then as well as restitution and charging them money. I mean, whatever damages on the penalties that they want to charge them for. And so let's hop into another one. I know there's a lot going on right now. This by CFTC on their actual website by the U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commission.gov. This is by far the best you can get out of all the information if this is what you want to look at. This is strictly from the CFTC themselves and straight from Washington, D.C. They filed a civil enforcement action with the District of Utah against JFX. Let's see here. The filed complaint was on July 27th. Charges JFX has been a counterparty to leverage retail forex transactions for customers located in the United States who are not eligible contract participants, ECPs. JFX allegedly solicits orders from U.S. customers who are not ECPs to open leverage retail forex trading accounts through JFX website, as well as videos on YouTube where JAFX or offers to be the counterpart to each leverage retail forex transaction. Customers are directed to open trading accounts and submit an online account application through JAFX's website. Yep, JAFX encourages customers to access and trade their accounts via a mobile application like the MetaTrader 4 mobile app. According to the complaint, U.S. customers allegedly may open an account with the JFX for as little as $100. You can open an account and start with $10. Did it in the past. You can still open it. You can still deposit $10 and still trade. Kind of like Tradersway. So, but like I said, the most important aspect of this is that they do operate in the United States, and so that's their own fault. And they should have known that, especially within operating bank wire transactions from the United States through Wells Fargo. Obviously, things are going to catch up quick. So, yes, they are saying and stating on the website that they're from, the St. Vincent Grenadines of Bulgaria, and they have a UK number, a phone number, and that they operate offshore as an offshore broker. But I mean, if you actually did a bank wire, it goes through Wells Fargo to that bank in California, and so that's probably what the main reason is all that money going in there. They're trying to figure out where that money is going, to be honest. And so if they're operating in the United States like that, obviously they're going to get caught real quick. I mean, Wells Fargo is one of the top 5 largest banks. And if you work at a bank, I used to work at a bank, anything over $9,999, like $10,000 plus, has to be reported to the IRS. There's a form that you have to fill out if you're withdrawing $10,000 or if you're depositing more than $10,000. So that's another law that's within the banking system. I forgot what it's called, but that's to protect consumers and also to look into businesses for fraud and money laundering and all this other stuff. So it's a lot of stuff to look into, and it's not just about them being unregulated. I'm pretty sure they try and dive down where this money is being wired to as soon as it gets to Wells Fargo in California. And so if you got that much money, if you think about all the retail traders here in the United States, right? And they're all using JFX. Let's just say like 10,000 forex traders here in the United States are using JFX, and they're actually doing a bank wire transaction of 5,000 or more, right? You take 10,000 times 5,000, right? Let's do the math here, right? 10,000 times 5,000. Oh, come on, D. I'm having way too much stuff going on today. Right? That's 5 million. Oh no, that's more than that. That's 50 million. 10,000 times 5,000 is 50 million. Add up all the zeros. So that's 50 million one day. If we were to do, if 10,000 U.S. retail traders, forex traders were coming in and doing a $5,000 bank wire, and they're making 50 million off the bat one day off that wire. That raises a red flag. That's for any business, and so you have to understand that they're doing the same thing for crypto. Coinbase is in California as well, so they've been hit up many times, and they just want their money. That's what it comes down to. They just want their part of money. They're gonna have to sign up with the IRS and make sure they pay their part in taxes and all that stuff. So this is just like, this is just another, to me, a lot of people are saying this is a red flag. I mean, if you want to look at it as a red flag, then you might as well look at every unregulated broker that you've been a part of as a red flag. And like I talk about, like, going from regulated brokers to unregulated brokers, and why I don't like unregulated brokers and why I'm sticking to regulated brokers. But the problem with regulated brokers is that there's so much restrictions. That's the number one thing. There's so much restrictions. You're strictly tied to not just leverage and the amount of money that you can put in, but you're tied down to, to what you can really do as a trader. And a lot of people don't see that on the regulation side. So when things get regulated, you're tied down. You can't really open up anything else. And you gotta understand that when things get like I'm gonna put an example. Like if you get regulated at your house, right? Obviously, you know that you can't do much at your house, right? But if they, if they unrestrict you, right? Like you're not tied down to the house. You can get outside the house and you do whatever you want. And this is totally different. And I mean, a lot of people are afraid that, maybe JFX might get shut down. If they get shut down, then that's it. That's it for them. Their business is over. There's no way for them to be a part of Forex. I mean, unless like they change their name offshore, which I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they do. I mean, most companies do that all the time anyways. Most businesses do that all the time. So it's nothing new. I mean, if you're in the game for that long, you're in the industry for that long, I mean, you see businesses come and go. And so it goes for any business. It is not just Forex. So I mean, the U.S. I mean, yeah, it's the CFTC, the FTC, the SEC. I mean, no matter who it is in that department, I mean, they're constantly looking at businesses. And so you just, as a business, I mean, you have to, you just got to follow, the ethical ways and the values that you bring and the morals. And I mean, if it's that bad, then it's really going to shut down for good. And so I was trying to make a quick video, but I know I'll kind of jump into different topics here and there. And you can click on the CFTC.gov or just Google it. You can just Google it right here. I mean, you can see how much stuff is being popped up here on Google with the CFTC and JAFX on being looked at. And now they're being monitored right now. I wouldn't be surprised on being monitored for the next 3 to 6 months. And like I said, if they end up going to court or something, this is going to be a long process. A process like this don't just get done within a matter of weeks. It takes about 6 months to a year to finalize what violations are occurred, what they're supposed to do to take care of the violations, and then the aftermath of fees, penalties, damages, what else they got to pay, what else they got to do to take care of their on their disclaimer on the website, their trading, their actual trading brokerage themselves. So there's a lot of stuff that on the back end, once things are done with the CFTC and the court ruling and everything, then they still have a process that they have to work on themselves where they're gonna go regulated. They don't go regulated, then they shouldn't be doing bank wires here. I mean, that is my prediction and my theory on why they got hit up so fast on this, because of, I mean, bank wires to to Wells Fargo. And those that like I said, if you actually did a bank wire with JFX, I mean, you can see where that money's going. And so, because I've done a bank wire for let's see, LQDFX, goes straight to Europe, to whatever that UK bank is. Let's see, I'm not done with Tradersway, but I know it goes somewhere offshore, not to the United States. FinPro's bank wire is through UK. What else? What else? I can't remember the other broker that I did bank wire with, but those bank wires were straight for offshore, and I had to convert the US dollar to euros. That's what I had to do for an offshore international bank wire. So that's just one thing that I'm thinking about why they got hit up so fast on this. And I mean, they're saying they're hitting them up because they're an unregistered licensed broker here in the United States, because like I said, they're operating the bank wire here in the United States, and they're getting hit up for acting as a United States commission, trade commission. So this is what it is, but I want to send this out to you guys, those that are still part of JFX and still using them, and to be aware that things are coming up quick for JFX, and that you want to pull out your money, just be on the safe side. I mean, that's probably the easiest route to do. And that's what I'm doing right now. And so you just have to move on and keep an eye on what's going to happen with them for the next 6 months to a year. And it's going to be a long process. This process probably won't be done probably till sometime end of this year, like a finalized negotiation or a deal, or sometime next year in the spring. So it's going to be an ongoing process for this whole issue, and that goes for any broker that gets hit up for this. So other than that, I mean, that's all I got for you guys. I mean, I already made my video on non-farm payroll, so just like I said, keep tabs on new brokers coming up, the latest updates on your current broker's websites. If they should be constantly updating what's coming up with their servers, what they plan on updating with their website, what the company's upgrading on their platform, whatever, or management, whatever. And it's critical, because if you're not up to date with the broker that you're using, and all of a sudden they decide to up and leave, and they don't say why they went bankrupt, or they don't announce anything, but then all of a sudden you see it on the CFTC, or you see it on Google, or you see someone else talking about it on YouTube, you missed out. So can a broker take off with your money and not say a thing? Yes, they can. They can, like, completely disappear. And so, I mean, I haven't seen anything like that out of the whole 2 years of trading here. So I mean, I haven't really seen anything like that. But can it happen? It can happen to anybody, and it can happen to any broker. You can't just say, oh, it only happens to unregulated brokers. No, it can happen to any broker. It doesn't matter if a broker is regulated or unregulated. Don't matter, because we don't really know who actually runs those companies in person. We don't really personally know who they are. We don't know exactly how they run the show behind the scenes. That's the biggest thing that we don't know. We know that they got good reviews, bad reviews because of this, because that. That's it. So, like I said, eventually you're gonna have to start keeping up to date with new brokers, current brokers, and past brokers, that what happened to them, and then you'll figure out, who you like, who you don't like, who you want to use, who you don't want to use. It's very important topic, issue, especially for every forex trader that's involved in this. And so I know that we're always looking for the best brokers, but there's always a price to pay when you're looking for the best brokers. Doesn't matter. So you have to remember that. Other than that, you guys have a great day. Today's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday, non-farm payroll, so be ready for that. That's it.